Hi fellows, this is Mihatsumi. Tonight, I introduce you Japanese first-person pronouns referring to the Hololive members. There are a variety of first-person pronouns in the Japanese language, which are eventually translated as I in English. However, each of them has different connotation and character that can represent what the speaker is like. So, let me explain some.
から見てください。私の今の衣装の色に合わせた。
Nervous too. 私もめっちゃ緊張してますが、彼女が。
Watashi is the most common way to say I in Japanese. Learners of the language usually begin with this pronoun at first. It's completely genderless, especially in formal situations. It sounds very general, soft and polite. But when it's used by men in very casual situations, it sounds a little bit too formal or stuffy maybe. It's natural so many members in Hololive use watashi, but this list includes occasional switching cases too. And also, there are some variants.
私はでもね、まだそう。ちょっと、どうかな、私の声大丈夫
Atashi is mostly used by women and sounds more cheerful, active, or even strong-willed sometimes. It's more informal. Aqua-san is famous for a unique pronunciation, atishi instead.
私
焼いた
は
鶏うめ。
私はなんかわかんないやつ食べます。
Watakushi is the longer variant. This one sounds much more formal. In manga, anime, and so on, it often indicates the speaker is a kind of rich, gentle person. In real life, politicians are likely to use this pronoun. I think no one uses this pronoun in Hololive regularly, while some livers from other productions do. It can be heard, however, when members are pretending to be high-class ladies.
昨日でテマニャンが僕のお家に来て1年になったんだよね。
おお。なんか僕よりは飲んでる気がしたからな。
Boku is a pronoun originally used by men, but it's getting common for girls to use it. It sounds calm and modest when used by a man, but when it's used by a girl, it sounds, of course, boyish and also kinda prankish or impish as well. In Hololive, these members regularly use this pronoun.
プロだ。お前ら俺に任せとけと思うわ。
Ore is almost exclusively used by men in real life, and it's very common. It gives more masculine and somewhat aggressive impression than boku. In Hololive, Botan-san and Polka-san sometimes use it when they are speaking frankly or roughly. Also, it is often heard when a member is pretending to be a cool guy and flirting with another member, or so.
うちさ、コロニに聞きたいことがあるんだよ。
Uchi or uchi is genderless but tend to be used by women. In real life, it is often associated with people from Kansai region, and some say it sounds very adorable. In Hololive, it is unique to Mio-san, sounding very kind and warm. I have no idea where she's from, though.
最初さ、多分やっぱ壁がね、熱
なってしまってスバルがツイートすると。
It's about calling oneself by the one's given name. It may sound a little bit childish usually, so it's less commonly used by a matured person in real life. But still, I think this is a good way for livers to get remembered by listeners with their names. Nicknames are used as well, like
でもスイちゃんスカート丈全然気にしてなくて。いや、ペコちゃんはあるから。いやいやいや。
On the other hand, some people even call themselves by their surnames, for example.
次、じゃあ白組出しましょうかね。じゃあ、
なんかしかも坂形さど真ん中座らされたの。
そうそう。
Basically, it sounds much more humble and formal than using a given name, but sometimes a little bit self-deprecating or ironic, but depends. Speaking of Hololive, you may hear Fubuki-san, Chloe-san, and Iroha-san regularly used this way.
そう、まず団長は、はいはい。マリリンは船長もね、ほぼルシアとね。
In Japan, it is common to call another person by their title. That's mostly the case when the person is in a higher position than the speaker. However, in Hololive, Noel-san and Marin-san call themselves by their titles, which are Dancho and Sencho respectively, you know? I think this is a kind of reflexive usage. I mean, as their colleagues or listeners had been calling them by their titles, they eventually came to use the titles for calling themselves, standing at other people's point of view. I'm not sure though. There are also some archaic or classical first-person pronouns. They are obsoleted and no longer used in real life. But you may come across them in some manga or anime even today.
まあでもよも近いかもそれに。ね
In Hololive, only Ayame-san uses yo. The pronoun was used from 1,000 years ago till the late modern period. And now it sounds very noble.
でも結構、マジ本気で我が輩はもうプルプルしながら地面に埋まり。
Laplace-san calls herself by this pronoun. In anime manga world, Wagahai sounds like a villain, but often a humorous kind of villain, you know. Therefore, it suits Laplace-san's personality very, very well. There are tons of other first-person pronouns that I didn't pick up here, both historical and contemporary. Also, it's usual for us to switch our pronouns depending on the circumstances. That's what I actually do every day. In my opinion, especially in casual situations, you can use whatever pronouns you prefer, no matter whether you are a male or female or any other gender, no matter whether you are an animal like me, a robot, an elf, an alien, or anything else. So, if you are interested in the Japanese pronouns, please search for further information yourself. Or I would make another video about them someday. I don't know for now. Anyway, thank you for watching. Your questions and requests are always appreciated. Let me know your ideas. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. That's all for tonight. See you next time, fellows.